Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Salesforce Tech Bytes. My name is Vijay Ramesh. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel. Also click on the bell icon so that whenever I post Salesforce related learning videos, you will be notified. Today we are going to see muting permissions in a permission set group. As you all know, permission set group it's very flexible when we want to group the permissions related to certain job functions so that it can be easily allocated or assigned to the group of users who belongs to only a certain job functions. But when we think about there is an user who's doing the same job functions but also have some elevated rights on a particular objects or particular records. In such cases, we would be creating the new permission set to give the elevated rights. We will not be able to put them into the public groups, right? But that should not be the case. So when we have the muting permissions in the permission set group, so we can give the elevated permission to the permission set. But however, whatever that elevated permissions has to be removed for the certain group, that can be done via muting permissions in the permission set group. I believe it would be better if we see with the hands-on. Don't you think so? Okay, let's get to the hands-on now. Okay, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Now we are in the my developer box where I do some play arounds with the new features and then the existing features improvements. Okay, so let's get into the topic now. Permission set group. I have already opened the permission set group. How do you go to the permission set group? You go to setup, type permission set groups, and it will list out all the permission set groups for you. So here we have two permission set group. One is sales contract permissions processing, another one is sales processing. In these two permission set group, we have same permission set. Okay. So when I say same permission set, we are reusing the same permission set across the permission set group, but with a different set of permissions to that group intended access level. Okay. So now I'm going to the permission set group sales processing. This is sales on a sales processing. In the sales contract processing, the permission sets in group, we can see we have two permission sets. One is sales cloud user, and another one is sales sales processing. And I want permission sets are in this group, sales contracts and sales orders. So now we understood sales contracts, it's available in the two permission set group. And this sales processing permission set group is assigned to the sales users. And the sales contract processing permission set group is assigned to the contract management users. Now let's see the contract management user does a similar job function as the sales processing users, but they need some elevated rights on the contracts. Okay, so what do we do? Do we create a new permission set to give the elevated rights and assign that to the sales contract processing permission set group? No, we want to have the reusability in the system. We already have the sales contract permission set, which has the relevant permissions for the contracts, and this as assigned with sales contract, which means contract management users, and sales processing permission set group, which means sales users. Now we can simply enable the elevated rights to the sales contract permission set. Now I go to the sales contract permission set. I'm not sure, so today it's a bit slow. Kindly bear with me. Maybe my internet is slow. We are already in the sales contract permission set. Now I want to give that elevated permission. I go to the app permission. I want to give delete activated contracts permission to the contract management users. So I click on edit. I go here and select delete activated contracts and click on save. This is already selected, so I click on save. All good. So now we have enabled the additional access that is required for the contract management user. Okay, hold on. Sorry, something we missed, right? So the sales contracts permission is being used for the sales users as well as for the contract management users. So if we enable the additional rights on the sales contract permission set, this will reflect for both the type of users, right? In both the permission set groups. So how do we manage this? I don't want this elevated rights for the sales processing permission set group. This elevated rights is required only for the sales contract processing group. Okay, that's where we go to the muting permission set in a permission set group. Now we go to the permission set group, sales processing, for which we don't want this elevated access to be available. And we go here in the permission set section. We have something called muting permission set in a group. Click on this. And we can create a muting permission set here. I have already enabled one, contract permissions muted. We can click on this. Now we go ahead and mute the permissions. Now I want to mute the delete activated contracts permission, which is app level. Click on edit. In the muting permission set, you can see there is an additional column. Muted is available, enabled and muted. So when you select this checkbox muted, this particular permission set or permission will be muted from that permission set group alone. But though the permission set contains this permission set permissions, this permissions will be muted only for that permission set group at group level. So here I select delete activated contracts so that this permission will be muted for the users who assigned with the sales processing permission set group, though the sales contract permission set has the additional permissions. Hope this makes clear for you. If at all you have any doubts, please post in the comments so that I try to clarify you, or you can also email me. Okay. So one more point or a note to be informed in terms of the limitations. So you can create a mute permission set in a permission set group that we assigned, that we understood, but this is only one muting permission set is allowed per permission set group. You cannot create more than one muting permission set in a permission set group. If at all you want to additional permissions, that you need to do the existing muting permission set itself, right? Okay, click on this muting permission set in a permission set group. You can see this new button is disabled, and when you click on this iCard, you can see only one muting permission set is allowed per group. Hope this is clear in terms of the limitation also. If at all this video is helpful for you and interesting, please like. And if you know someone who's learning the Salesforce or a beginner to Salesforce, please share this video so that they also gain the knowledge with you. Thank you. We'll meet you again in another good learning video. Thanks.